Have you ever wondered what it really takes to build a successful business from the ground up? It's so much more than just a brilliant idea. Today, we're going to distill the essential skills every founder needs into a kind of personal playbook for success. Let's get right into it.
So what is that secret sauce, right? What's the bridge that takes you from a flash of inspiration to a company that's actually thriving? Well, as we're about to see, the answer really lies in mastering a set of fundamental skills. These skills are the absolute core of any entrepreneurial venture.
All right, we're going to build this playbook together, and it's got 5 main chapters. We'll kick things off with leadership versus management, then jump into mastering your market, building your people, perfecting your processes, and we'll wrap it all up with the entrepreneur's dashboard.
Okay, Chapter 1. This is the foundation for everything else. Understanding the huge difference between leading and managing, this isn't just some business school theory. No, it's the starting point for pretty much every decision you're ever going to make.
So let's break these two roles down. Think of leadership as the architect drawing the blueprint. It's all about the why and the where are we going. It's setting that grand vision, that mission, and getting the team totally fired up to build it. Management, on the other hand, that's the foreman on the construction site. It's the how do we get it done. It's organizing the crew, managing the supplies, and just making sure the work gets done on time and on budget to bring that blueprint to life.
And here's the real kicker for any founder. This isn't a choice. In a big corporation, you might have separate people for these roles. But as an entrepreneur, especially in those early days, you have to be both. You're the one setting the 5-year vision, and you're the one making sure the printer has paper. Getting that balance right is the whole game.
All right, let's move into our next chapter. You'll see how this all connects. Once you've got that vision locked in, well, you need customers to share it with, and that is all about mastering your market.
Now this is so important. Market knowledge is not a one-and-done task you can just check off a list. Sure, most founders start out with a pretty deep understanding of their industry, which is great. But the market, it's like a living, breathing thing. It is always changing. The really smart entrepreneurs, they're always listening, always learning. They never, ever assume they have all the answers.
So how do you do this in a systematic way? Well, you follow this 4-step strategy. Let's say you're launching a new coffee shop. First, you segment the market. You've got students, remote workers, morning commuters, all different groups. Then you target one of those groups, let's say remote workers. Next, you have to differentiate. How are you different? Maybe you offer the fastest Wi-Fi and the most power outlets in town. And finally, you position yourself in their minds as the ultimate remote work cafe. You own that spot.
So if that was the strategy, these are your tactics, the famous 4 Ps. And they all have to work together, right? Your premium product isn't going to sell with a bargain bin price. Your super clever promotion is a total waste if it's not in the right place where your target customers will actually see it. Getting this marketing mix right is how you bring that whole strategy to life.
Okay, so you've got a vision and you know how to reach your customers. But guess what? You can't do it alone. Let's move on to the next critical piece of the puzzle, building the team that's going to help you get there.
And let's be clear, HR is so much more than just hiring and firing. It's a full ecosystem. You have to build a strong culture and keep the team motivated. And that culture needs to value diversity and have fair systems for evaluation. When you get that right, you achieve retention. You keep your best people. And oh, by the way, all of this has to happen while navigating all the legal compliance. For a growing business, this stuff is the absolute backbone.
Now that we've covered the who, let's talk about the how. Perfecting your processes is all about building the engine of your business. The systems that let you deliver value to your customers consistently and efficiently, time and time again.
At the heart of all your operations are these key trade-offs. Every single day, you're making these decisions. Should this process be manual or should we automate it? One saves you money right now, the other saves you a ton of time in the long run. It's this constant balancing act between cost and time. This means you've got to map out your processes, understand every single step, and find those weaknesses, like bottlenecks that are slowing everything down.
And that brings us to our final chapter, the part where we pull everything together. Think of this as the ultimate control center for your entire business, the entrepreneur's dashboard.
So what's on this dashboard? Well, for starters, all your internal data. We're talking sales figures, operational metrics, team performance, basically everything that's happening inside the 4 walls of your company.
But that's not enough, not even close. You have to add the next layer, what's happening outside. The external environment. What are your competitors up to? What are the bigger market trends? This stuff provides the crucial context for all your internal numbers.
And here it is, the final and without a doubt the most critical component. All that data is just data. The dashboard is totally useless without you. Your judgment, your experience, your leadership, your ability to look at all this information and make the tough calls, you're the one who makes sense of it all.
So there you have it, the 5 core chapters of the Entrepreneur's Playbook. Leadership, the market, your people, your processes, and the dashboard that ties it all together. The only real question left is, once you've built your playbook and fired up your dashboard, what story is it going to tell?